Hi Kiwi! Alright, we are back at Celeste and we're officially on to Chapter 7 B-side. I can't imagine how difficult this is going to be. No more running mix. Alright, let's see what it's called. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Sounds like it's going to be Synthwave. Alright, wish me luck, Kiwi. This is going to be difficult, I know it. But we have 2 dashes, so it means even more room for momentum shenanigans. Well, we're making a good showing in the first room for sure. How am I... Oh, I see what the game wants. Gross. Well, I made it. Anyway, we're gonna keep going with me rambling about Fire Emblem Three Houses characters while I use this cursed image of Mercedes's face, hair, and dress edited onto... or face and dress edited onto all of the characters' hairstyles. And their names fused together. So next up we have... Let's go ahead and start ranking... Let's do the Ashen Wolves first. So I think I already mentioned this, but Yuri ended up being one of my favorite characters, and I didn't expect that coming into this game after playing Three Hopes. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be rough, Kiwi. Although I seem to do better at these thread the needle challenges than the moving obstacles to dodge like in Chapter 3. We'll see, though. I definitely have to get better at neutral sticking when I'm falling through these or I'll crash into stuff. Anyway, Yuri ended up being way more complicated, way more interesting than I gave him credit for. He definitely has this, like, kind-hearted mafia boss vibe to him almost, or kind-hearted gang leader vibe to him. But so many of his A-rank support combos have been extremely interesting to me. Or very heartwarming, honestly. Him and Bernie, him and Dorothea, him and Violet as well. Like, I ended up really liking his character. And he is an indomitable unit on your army. He and Edelgard are tied for probably the scariest units on your team. So Edelgard we made into a Wyvern Lord, so she's just flying around the map, slicing men in half with her axe. Yuri, we made a Punch Boy, a grappler on the path to War Master. And oh my goodness. Yuri is a dodge tank. He refuses to get strength growth, so his damage output isn't always the best, but he has the highest speed stat in our team, aside from Yuritsa, who, I mean, has DLC privilege. Not that Yuri doesn't have DLC privilege, but, you know. I mean, like, having had a unit that we leveled up, he has had outstanding speed growth. What's funny is, if we're not counting Yuritsa, our highest speed units are going to be Edelgard. No, number 1 is Yuritsa currently. Number 2 is Yuri. Then Edelgard, and then Hubert is our 4th fastest unit compared to all our other units, including Petra, who's a Pegasus Knight. And roughly the same level, if not higher, than Hubert. How did that happen? How am I supposed to get through here? Oh my goodness. This is going to be a challenging one, Kiwi. I've said this a bunch of times. But, like, how are you supposed... I obviously need to use my horizontal dash, but I just do not have enough space. Maybe if I hit the spring with a dash? Oh, there's a spring underneath there. I see it. I saw it. Okay. I must have to aim for that. Wow. Oh no. Kiwi. Oh no, Kiwi. This is... Why would they do this? Oh no, that's so difficult. Okay, this is definitely going to be a room I'm going to have to edit out or, like, cut through because there's no way I'm completing this with dialogue. Oh my goodness, the amount of brain this is going to take. Well, I'll critique one more character and we'll see where it gets us. Anyway, so Yuri, we made a Punch Boy, and so Yuri plus Killer Gauntlets, he always hits 4 times and has like a 30 to 40% crit chance at least. And, oh god, he is just destroying everything. Almost got that. But yeah, so not only character, but also unit as a unit, Yuri is terrifying when he wants to be. We also have a running gag where we call it Yuri-in-a-bush. We just put Yuri in the bush and nothing can touch him, or in a forest where his evasion rate is boosted by 30% and he gets some extra defensive stats. Also, for some reason, his resistance is really high, so mages can't touch him. But an absolute monster on the battlefield, and I'm glad. There's more. Oh god, we made it. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness, that was so difficult. Oh boy. Anyway, more on the Ashen Wolves, I suppose. Oh my goodness, Kiwi. This floor. This is rough. This is so rough. Anyway, Balthus. I love Balthus. He is also on Team Meathead, along with Raphael and Caspar and Ingrid and Leonie. They're just a bunch of absolute goofs who are prone to causing trouble for themselves, especially Balthus. He definitely has some problems between gambling and drinking and hitting on women and why do I like him? But I don't know. I find all the Ashen Wolves some way very funny. Some funnier than others, but Balthus is hilarious. He is super self-serving at the best of times, but also kind of has a heart of gold. Like, all of these characters have some sort of heart of gold. Hubert notwithstanding. Maybe. Definitely. Hubert's heart is some mess of congealed blood that's pulsating. If that even is blood. Oh god, what is that? Anyway, but Balthus is a mess. But I kind of enjoy the mess that he is. Oh, you jerks. Oh, there's so much needle threading in this. I hate it. I hate it so much, Kiwi. Hapi's probably one of the characters that I think, before I render an opinion on, I need to know more. I really like her post-time skip getup. It looks really pretty. And, but because she can't sigh, I think she also very often kind of mutes her emotions. And so it's hard to always get a read on her. I do absolutely respect and love her nicknaming sense. The Burt was a stroke of mad genius, and Hubert must hate her for it, but it brought about Burt for me, so I cannot complain. Oh, I see what I have to do, okay. Couldn't get the height, so I need to save a dash there. I can probably grab that without wasting a dash? No, maybe not. Maybe if I go for a diagonal. Hold on, let me try this. No, not that. I didn't mean to try that. That was not the plan. So I dash like that. There we go. Okay. I think I want this one to launch me over to the right. Whee! Oh, I'm running out of... Forgot about the climb juice limit. We haven't had to worry about that in a while. Alright, so I've got the motions down, I just have to travel faster. Oh, well, not that fast, I guess. There we go. Hope I didn't need my dash there, but I definitely did. Oh, I stood on top of that for a second, darn. Anyway. Hapi, like, I think her if we'll call it a curse, the curse that if she sighs, a demonic beast is summoned, is interesting on paper, but they don't really use it very well, and it doesn't really make sense how it works, I suppose. Like, they don't really give enough of a backstory of why it happens, who did it to her, and maybe that comes about with her support conversations, because we really haven't had many with her yet, unfortunately. Come on, got it, nice, okay. What does this floor look like? Let's see. A lot of up. I don't know. When I use these binoculars, they never really. I never really pay attention enough on them to fully understand what I'm supposed to do. For me, Celeste is very much I run it blind and get a feel for how things should be. And I'm okay with that, honestly. But I see what I'm trying to do here. Whee! Alright, so I think what I'll do on that one is I'll grab onto it and then regenerate my climb juice. Oh, I skimmed those, spikes, didn't I? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Hapi, she's very muted, and it makes it hard to read her. She is very good at sarcasm, and she definitely strikes me as someone who is also pretty darn funny when she's either criticizing people or just, like, giving her very passive, uninterested responses to things. But I think I need to reserve my opinion on her a little bit longer, because I don't have enough to go on. Oops. Yeah, forgot about that part. I got Madeline swish. Constance, on the other hand, I can say so much about. She is hilarious. She is another one of probably my favorite characters. She's just so insane. And there's the support log where she's just, I think this was the Three Hopes support log, but she just starts talking to a cat, and Lorenz comes in and sees her, and he's like, I'll have to rethink my opinion of you. And she tears this man apart. He leaves less of a man than he was after that conversation. He is broken. He is destroyed by this woman's words. And it was so funny to watch someone just utterly destroy him. I think the only one who's ever gotten that close to completely just ending Lorenz as we know him was Dorothea in one of her Three Hopes support logs with him. I'm pretty sure she just as maybe not as eloquently, but just as potently destroys Lorenz and everything he knows and loves. Verbally, of course. Gotta keep our noble boy alive, after all. But, oh my goodness. And then, I guess I'm not a fan of her, like, split personality quirk. I can understand why she has it, but the way they play it off is kind of weird to me. I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna have enough climb juice after this, I'm sure. Hopefully I don't need any more dashes. Oh, well. That wasn't what I expected to die on. Oh, well. But, I mean, Yuri talks to her in a support log about licking the noble's boots to get her house back reinstated. And she creates a spell that makes boots taste like licorice. And Yuri is just so utterly dumbfounded by her, like, taking his words literally. And we're confused, too, because we're not sure, did she actually believe him, or is she just trying to take the piss out of Yuri and make a spell that will, like, give her some sort of notoriety? Because she's constantly doing that. Her support log with Edelgard recently was pretty funny, and that Edelgard's like, no, not another one, not another spell showcase, please, please make it stop. Oh, I've wasted both my dashes now. Well, can I reset here? I can reset here, cool. If I had grabbed onto that wall, it would have been fine. Oh well. But, oh my goodness, Constance is chaos when she's in her, we'll call it her sunny day form. And when it's, actually no, when she's in the sun, that's when she's depressed. Her depressed form is also kind of funny though, because she just, it's definitely a very played up self-loathing compared to Marianne's, which is legitimate, I'd say. But still, like, what a funny character. Everyone, like, again, everyone in the Ashen Wolf's house has gotten me to laugh pretty hard, but I think Constance takes the cake for who's gotten me to laugh hardest. She is... How are you supposed to get here without the speedrun tech? Hold on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure... Can you reach this with your double dash? Okay, you can. Fair enough. But for a moment, I'm like, oh, it looks like they require the speedrun tech there. Well, I'm going to use it. Even if I don't need to. Because I am the fanciest. And then I immediately die in typical fashion. Yeah, that was bound to happen. All right, who else? Who else? Who else? All right, so I think that's it for the Ashen Wolves. I have set myself up for failure here. Need to make sure to save a dash there. Gotcha. So sproing, grab this, do that, fall, go up. Okay, I can use my dash to correct there. I smell your parents cooking something good for breakfast, although I guess it's 2 p.m. It's probably not breakfast time now that I think about it. For us, it's breakfast time because I've only been up for 2 hours. My sleep schedule is complete and utter nonsense, and you're just the same. Okay. Let's take a look at what's over here. Okay, looks like a lot of walls that I'm gonna have to grab to knock down. So I think I sproing onto that wall. Okay, I need to spring. I wonder if I go back and forth between spring and those platforms there. Well, we'll see what happens. The spring will reset my dash now. Grab that. Yeah, I think this is the plan. Why didn't I regenerate a dash there? Oh, wait, I used it. Never mind. That makes sense. I didn't actually reset. Whoops, what am I doing? Oh, well. Anyway, so as far as church folk go, let's go with that. I like Alois. His sense of humor is not for everyone, but I love bad dad jokes and puns, and he is a married man, so he's likely a dad. So, I feel like my dad would like Alois. He also has my dad's facial hair. Although, my dad has a chin strap as well as the goatee, so I guess it's not actually a goatee, but you know. Or do you know? But Alois is kind of like male Leone to a degree, though. He's also very obsessed with your dad. Like, I get it, your dad was probably a big deal, a really important knight, and a very famous mercenary. But we don't need to hear about him every time we talk to you, Alois. Not sure, for some reason my brain decided that's what I was supposed to... Oh, well, this is, wait, can I salvage it? Nope. I had, you know what? That might be the fast strat. Because I can then, if I can take out that center one, oh gosh, what am I doing? If I can take out that center one, then I can bounce back and forth between the outer sides. Let's do that. That sounds cheesier and I want to try it again. I'm sure the actual fast strat is way fancier, but that's fine. I'm not here for... I don't have to be fancy 24/7. Just fancy enough that you can appreciate it, right? Oh, well, I don't appreciate it. Alright, let's talk about the other professors. Hanneman and Manuela. In my original playthrough, and in my playthrough with you, I have to say Manuela is not one of my favorite characters. I understand the longing to be in love with someone and to spend your time with them, but Manuela is a bit of a mess. She has a drinking problem, she's not good at cleaning up after herself. I do really like her interactions with Dorothea. I think she makes for a very good mentor for Dorothea in that regard, both having been, at some point, famous opera singers in the Middle Franc Opera Company. And I think Manuela does have some good interactions with other people. Like, her identity is not exclusively her inability to find a date that can last. And I will say, having watched her S-rank support where she gets proposed to by Violet, it's actually really sweet. It made me like her more than I originally did. I do kind of love the bickering romance. It's not romance. The bickering relationship that she has with Hanneman, though. And Hanneman as a character is some parts creepy, some parts funny. I like his mustache. His mustache is awesome. If I had a support log with him, I would probably, like, if I was a character in the game and I had a support log with him, I would probably talk to him about his mustache. Honestly, I'm like, how do you make your mustache look so good, Hanneman? But to me, the funniest thing about Hanneman is not his character, not his intended class route or how you're supposed to build him, but rather how I in my head want to build him, and that is Punch Boy. Make him a grappler because he looks ridiculous. A monocle-clad, part-naked meat man. I should not call him Meat Man. But he's like super buff underneath that trench coat. Well, they all are because they have like the same character models, but still, like Raph is the only one who really Raph is the only guy who really has a very unique character model. The others do too, I'm sure, but like if you put them side by side, most of them are carrying the same character model, I'm sure. But you can also probably tell by the way they're stanced. Like Lorenz's particular stance where he has his hand kind of underneath his chin and like bounces it up and down a little bit. I've seen several other women have that, and Yuri uses it too, I believe. That both body model and the animation, if not. Anyway. But I really enjoy Hanneman and Manuel's back and forth bickering. They're like, I would ship them if they haven't already been shipped to hell and back by everyone else, I'm sure. Maybe I was making this more complicated than it needed to be. Actually, I was definitely making this more complicated than it needed to be. That's fine, though, right? We don't need to talk about how I was making it more difficult. Ooh, okay. I see what they want from this, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm also not good at it, mind you. But yeah, I like Manuela more than I expected, and I definitely like Hanneman. He's an absolute super creep when he first meets you because he's so interested in your crest and figuring out what it is. But dude's got a passion for research. He's a more creepy Linhardt when it comes to his research. There we go. Oh, right, about that. Well, far be it for me to have confidence about what I accomplished. Alright, so I need to bounce up that way. Gotcha. Try again. I guess another character I don't particularly like is Cyril from the church. Or I shouldn't say I dislike him, the voice actor was directed in a very interesting way, and I wonder if it's like a way to represent how Cyril is Elmiran in origin, but the intonation he has when he reads his lines is different. I don't know if different's the right word, but it has a particular cadence to it that other voices do not, and I find it a tad. What are you? Oh no. Gotta be fast. Okay, couldn't be fast enough. Like, I can barely see where I'm supposed to jump there. But I get what they're after. But it would be great if I could conserve my dash. Oh, I was in a flow and didn't see it. I don't know. I think part of the issue with Cyril is that I just haven't had enough support logs, and like Leone and like Aloise, he is unreasonably obsessed with Rhea. I flubbed it. But I think he'll probably be more interesting as we get to know him better, because we'll find out more about the Elmiran history he has and how he ended up here. I don't know this for sure, but I believe he was actually brought to Fodlan by House Goneril, so Hilda's house, as a slave. Maybe like a war slave or a war... I don't remember, but if that is the case, that does... I don't know what I want to say about that, because that's complicated. Oops. Right. Need to remember my B-side technique. Alright, I need to go for a diagonal there. See ya. There we go. This room is going to be full of movement. Anyway, who's next? Shamir. Oh my goodness, you hate that I call her Goth Mommy, but I like, you've been pairing her up with Hubert, so how can I not? I call her Goth Mommy and Baby Boy Bert, and you hate it, and that makes it so much more fun. And whoever likes Shamir is going to be very mad at me for saying that, for calling her Goth Mommy with Baby Boy Bert, I'm sure. But it's worth it to see the look of disgust and discomfort on your face every time I say that. But as a character, I find Shamir implicitly interesting. She is super to the point and very direct, and it's very funny for the characters that favor the more flowered words. Oh. Okay. And she's also quite the unit. When you get her in Maddening mode, which we've not played either of us, but to my understanding, she's really strong in Maddening. And she starts as a sniper, so it makes sense. But I like her personality. She's very snarky. She's very serious. But her S rank support log is also pretty funny. It's like she knows she's about to get proposed to. It's just like, okay, that's us then. Fair enough. and she's like, let's go ahead and get a move on. Like, there's no pomp and circumstance, no super romantic, and then you're like, but you gotta say something, and she acquiesces to that demand, and it's, I don't know, she's a fun character. I quite like her, and I love her design. She looks so cool. I might be fond of the goth aesthetic. What can I do? And I know you quite like corsets, considering the number of times we've gone shopping for them together. Or, well, not shopping, I mean internet browsing, but you know what I mean. But she wears it well. She sure does. Alright, so how am I supposed to not die here? Because I get spouted. I need to get... Oh, do I have to go diagonal here? Oh, that's gross. How are you supposed to do that without... Okay, wait, I see what I need to do. I bet if I take this diagonally... But, I don't know. Maybe doable, but I must be missing something fundamental. That doesn't feel right. Oh, you know what it is? I have to dash downwards as soon as I'm out. That's what it is. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so it's just a matter of making sure that I dash as soon as I'm out of it. Well, maybe not as soon, but pretty soon after. The next question is how do I have... Alright. So then there's Catherine. I do like Catherine and Shamir's friendship, although we don't really get to see much of it in the Black Eagles playthrough, because Catherine will never support our ambitions over Rhea. I don't remember the full details of why she owes Rhea her life, but I certainly respect it, since it's clear that's whatever Rhea did for her is very important. Beyond that, I don't really have much to say on her. She's also kind of a Meathead Squad character. I wonder if I could just, if I jump on exit, get enough height to just double dash there. I can. Alright, well, we didn't need to do that room anyway. Alright, so I need to reset jumps here, it seems. Or reset my dash. Why did I do that? Oh well. Yeah, I unfortunately don't really have much to say about Catherine. I do think her relationship to Ash will be interesting, although we haven't seen it yet. I do remember she was the one who killed, I think his adoptive brother was who it was. The son of Lenato, Lord Lenato. But I don't remember enough to know where that went after. I'm pretty sure in the... It may be pre-time skip. Actually, I know it was pre-time skip because we did it. Ash has a paralogue with Catherine, and their support convo, I think, leads into him confronting her about how she killed his brother. But beyond that, I don't remember a terribly great deal. Who else is there left? Oh, of course, Sedith and Flayn. I don't quite like Flayn. She's very awkward, and she's not a great unit, if I recall. So I didn't really use her much in my playthrough, which ruined her opportunities for getting development. To my understanding, though, in Three Hopes, she's an absolute monster, which I find hilarious. They took kind of like how they made Mortal Savant, and Mortal Savant is not a great, well-regarded class in Three Houses, but it is one of the best classes in Three Hopes. which I appreciate, because it's a really cool looking design. It's all samurai aesthetic, which, why is there a samurai aesthetic in medieval Europe-esque place? I don't know, but I'm not going to be against it, because it looks cool, and swords and magic have always been an aesthetic I appreciate. I digress, though. Flame, as I was saying, in Three Hopes is an absolute monster, apparently. But I don't know if I quite like her character. I love the Sedith Says meme that apparently has populated the internet, though, where Sedith is asking the professor questions and asking for help in regards to Flame interacting with effectively the three houses of college students. Particularly if anyone's listening to this and hasn't seen Sedith Says about the Minecraft server, please watch the episode. Please watch that about the Three Houses Minecraft server. It is really funny, and it's fun to just see people write these characters as if they were like actual living people dealing with the hijinks of a college campus. Is all I'll say. But I don't know. Flame is nice, but I don't know enough about it for her to give a proper critique beyond that. Kind of like with Cyril, the way she's written, the way she, like, the intonation of how she talks is weird to me, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, again, weird to me. Okay, so I want to go dash this way. I feel like I could skip that other they're apparently called dream bubbles, but I called them galaxy bubbles in my first playthrough, or in this playthrough, I guess. I'm still gonna call them galaxy bubbles because I think galaxy sounds cooler than dream bubbles, personally. Okay. Oh, that room was rough for me. Alright, looks like we're almost done with this, with Chapter 2's version of... Oops. I know what I'm doing. I wonder if you'd be able to beat this without knowing how to jump out on the exit of these, dream bubbles. Because it looks like this one would be really hard to, accomplish without that. Regardless. Oop, missed the bubble. There we go. Up. Oh, okay. Wow, I skimmed the bottom there. Anyway, who's left in the church? Oh, of course, Rhea. How could we forget the Archbishop, the Immaculate One herself? Oh, she is scary, and her voice actress is killing it. When she gets mad, she gets mad. Now, one thing I'll say is the internet as a collective has said she is really evil, but we have not seen what she's actually done. We just know that she is a dragon, pretty much. So I'm very curious to see the extensive evil that she has completed. Based on some cursory memory from what I've either read or seen, I do know like she's done some sort of experiment. I mean, somehow she brought Violet effectively back to life. And in the DLC, it's made clear that what happened was her mother, she transplanted her mother's heart into Violet, which, I mean, if we're going by like modern medicine, is not something, that's not quite how that works. But obviously, I believe in the case of Gerald's got access to Rhea's blood as well, and that's why he was effectively immortal. So I imagine magic trumps medical tradition. Magic trumps the current knowledge of medicine that I have, I guess. Regardless, I'm not gonna ruin my suspense of my suspension of. Really, Jeff? I'm not gonna ruin my suspense of. I'm not going to ruin my suspense of disbelief. Or you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna ruin my suspension of disbelief to argue medical things in a game that I'm enjoying with you. We can do that later, after all. Alright, maybe don't jump on exit on that one. Or if you're going to, I have to dash upwards very quickly. But, I don't know. I think, to my understanding, there's a degree of sympathy that can be lauded towards Rhea wanting to see her mother again, more so for the loss of all of her friends at the Battle in the Red Canyon, I think it's called. So, like, I don't think she is completely without anything, or she isn't a completely, like, pure evil character, but I don't know. She perpetuates a power system that is inherently toxic and damaging to her world, for reasons that I don't know yet. Alright, Kiwi, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here today. Unfortunately, this and the next episode are going to have those more abrupt cuts in the middle of dialogue, just because Chapter 7's B-side is a gargantuan task. But I hope you've enjoyed what you've watched so far, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.